some will call me the crazy uncle of the local music scene.
Right.
So, I've just been in and out of the local music scene forever. How long have you been gone?
Let's see. I am soon to be 57, so since I was about 22, I think, 21 or 22.
Was it a case of you just had to get the hell out of the 315?
No, not really. It was really just a choice I made to move and make a run at Florida, and it was a good move. So but my family stayed there for many years, and my parents retired here in Charlotte about, I don't know, maybe 17 years ago, and we came down about 15 years ago. Well, actually, up from Florida, we came up. So, yeah.
Right on. Do you come back for visits, holidays, or anything? Or
We had a show up in somewhere out near Rochester and Buffalo, and about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and my wife, my son, and myself, we drove from Rochester to Utica just to spend the day.
Nice.
And that was the first time I had been back in since maybe 2017, because we played Syracuse when I was out with Boston in 2017, which was the last time we toured, actually. So it was a few years that had passed, but it was nice to be back home. And not one of the things that I really appreciated about being back home was across the street from where my parents' house was, where I grew up, there was an empty lot that we used to play baseball in, and it's still empty today. And that to me is the greatest thing, because when you've lived in bigger cities, we lived in Tampa, and then we came up here to Charlotte. It's pretty amazing, that one day you could be driving down the street and there's an empty lot, and then 2 days later there's a shopping center. So, not quite the same thing up in upstate New York. So,
and down there they build those shopping centers like within a week.
Yeah, grass, trees, everything.
Yeah. Now, where officially did you grow up? You grew up in Rome, is that correct?
No, I was born in Rome.
Okay.
And then we moved right to North Utica, and I from about 4 years old until I was 21, I lived in North Utica.
Ah, cool. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to John F. Kennedy High School back when it was a high school.
When it was a high school, yeah. Now it's like junior high, and wow, crazy, man. So this is like a dream come true for you, man. Coming to the Stanley, playing the big stage. These are what dreams are made of, right? Especially for that young kid sitting in North Utica in his bedroom, right?
Yeah, it's funny, Z. I went to the Stanley to see the band Starship when I was about 18 or 19. And it was funny because on a couple of Boston tours, Starship opened for us. And, it was just kind of a funny thing. I remember seeing, watching the band and getting to meet and talk to Mickey Thomas, who was the reason I went to the Stanley to see Starship, was because of his amazing vocals. So it was pretty crazy. But yes, coming back to the Stanley's pretty awesome. I mean, that was, a lot of great shows have been played there. Gosh, I think I can remember going there like on a field trip in elementary school. I went to General Herkimer Elementary School in North Utica.
Keys Road.
And, yeah, Keys Road. That's right. And I think we went to go see Oliver, the play, and it was at the Stanley. So, it's going to be nice to go back and play a show and kind of, see things from the other side of the stage. So that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's such a world-class facility now, especially with the renovations back in 2008, and the stage is much bigger, the load-in is much easier, and the Stanley is top-notch, and it's amazing what's going on there currently and what has happened since 2008 to make that place what it is today. It's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't been there since the Starship show, which was, again, I was probably maybe 17, 18, 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
I haven't been in there since, so.
Nice, and then you get to rock it, brother.
That's right.
And not only
That's
do you get to
right.
rock it, but you get to rock it with your son. How cool is that?
Yeah, I would say that's probably one of the most exciting things about doing music. Of course, it's pretty special to just to be able to get up and perform in front of people. But when you get to do it with your son, such as I do, it's pretty amazing. I can remember Tommy Jr. and I going to his first Boston concert, which was my second, and we had nosebleed seats, and
Oh, I thought you were
I,
performing.
I don't think I could even afford to buy him a concert T-shirt that day. So you know, it's pretty awesome how things happen in life, and this was very unexpected. It was something we never planned on, and but we're certainly happy to have that opportunity. And for me personally, I couldn't be more thankful to Tom Scholes for giving me the opportunity with the band Boston. And of course, coming up at the Stanley is not the band Boston, but we get to perform, many of their hits, pretty much all of them, if time permits.
Yeah, he'll be rocking out. It's going to be a great time. Everybody's looking forward to it. So, what does your set consist of? So, it's a bunch of is it some covers and some originals. I know you do have an album that was recently released in a couple of years ago. Is that what your set consists of?
No, actually, this is all Boston
Oh,
and Journey music. Our
oh,
opening act is, well, what's cool about this is that the dynamic is pretty awesome. We have one band and two singers. And Rudy Cardenas comes out and he opens up with the music of Journey. And Rudy is an American Idol finalist from several years ago, and he just does an amazing job on the Journey stuff. And then we'll come out. We follow that up, same band, but Rudy goes Rudy goes off stage. I come on stage, and we do the music of Boston. And the great thing about that is there isn't a song on the set list that the fans aren't going to know. I mean, it's just one hit after the other all the way through, and I think that's kind of a bonus with this particular act because even great bands that you love that you go out to see, sometimes they play some deep cuts that you don't really listen to all the time. And even though you're happy to hear it, you still are there to hear the hits.
right.
So that's one thing the fans get when they come to see the music of Boston and Journey is they get the hits from top to bottom.
It's a party.
It's every bit of that, yeah.
Right, because that's where you listen to that music and it just takes you back to a place in time and probably great memories and sitting around cracking open drinks and Utica clubs, if you will, especially if you're here in the Utica area.
Yeah.
It refreshes your memory and puts you in a great place. That's for sure. Listening to all the old school hits. So it's coming up this weekend, or this week. I'm sorry, November 19th, 7:30 start time over at the Stanley Theater. For more information, go visit thestanley.org or Ticketmaster 315-724-4000. The music of Boston and Journey. I'm interested to hearing that Journey set. Do you guys sit in with each other at all, or is it just split down the middle?
Yep, right down the middle. Rudy takes care of all the Journey stuff and does an amazing job at that. As a matter of fact, the first show that we played and Rudy opened, I didn't even want to listen to him because he was that good. I was like, I don't want to have to follow this guy. This guy was ridiculous. I mean, that's how good he was. So, but I think we kind of drive each other, and we inspire each other to bring out the best performances and in each other that we can, and we're both very supportive of each other. And I'm thankful to have made a new friend through this opportunity. And Rudy's a great guy.
Super cool, Tommy. Tommy, before we get out of here, what's your future plans? What's going to happen after November 19th? What do you got on the docket?
Well, hopefully we got a bunch more music of Boston and Journey shows. Hopefully that's going to keep us busy, and I think it will. A lot of people want to hear that music, and of course, a lot of people love it. I mean, again, you put the music of Boston and Journey together in one show, and it just, that music can stack up against any music that's being played, especially the classic rock era. So just keeping busy playing live shows and traveling, and that's exciting, in itself. So we're really excited for the future of this band project. Yeah.
Can you find your original music on the streaming platforms? And what do people search for when they're looking for it?
Yes, the DeCarlo Lightning Strikes Twice album is on Spotify, among others, iTunes. But that's something that we're really proud of. My son and I spent a lot of time writing and recording that record, and that's just another thing that we're very proud of, and we were happy to get the opportunity through Frontiers Records to sign with them and release that. And what a lot of people don't know is we were actually featured in Billboard magazine as 2020 Grammy contenders. And, we're featured in that magazine, and it's kind of surreal. We just lucked out, I guess. I don't know.
I checked it out last night. I like the synths on it. It's got like that whole progressive vibe to it as well. Not just kind of the classic sound, but it's got a progressive sound.
Yeah, a little bit. We just, for me personally, I decided to write in that direction. It's most natural for me to go in that direction. Mm-hmm. And, of course, there's some Hammond B3, and there's, again, there is some synth in there. I think it's a pretty good collection of music for at least what I wanted to hear in my head, and be able to put it down on tape or digital as this would be. But it was a great opportunity to be able to do that. And it was funny because once we finally got that done, I was content to say, okay, there may be another record out there someday, but I was really happy to get that out. I pulled a lot out of me to get it out there, and I'm really happy with the music that's on that. And again, it's awful hard. In our DeCarlo show that we play here locally in Charlotte, we do play some originals, and I often tell the fans it's awful tough to stick an original in between a Boston, a Journey, a Foreigner, some of those iconic rock songs. So we take a stab at it every now and again and throw an original in there, and people do like them, and it's exciting when they sing along to those songs too. So pretty awesome.
Are you a melody first or a lyric first guy when you're writing?
A little bit of both, but melodies come quick. I can get them. I can play. If you threw me a handful of chords, I can give you a melody in a heartbeat. Lyrically, it's a little challenging to come up with something catchy, but I spent a lot of days in the studio just with a pen and paper and just scratching off. And it's funny because what songwriting did for me was it gave me an opportunity to you might have 3 or 4 lines of a song, and you realize there's several words in there that you can do without, and it still tells that same story in the song. The lyric is better without it, so it's, I guess, less is more in that case. But that was just a lot of fun to write that record. And when we go out to our shows, we'll sometimes people will come up and ask us to play one of those songs, and pretty awesome. I tend to believe that had we written that album back in the mid 80s, I think we might have had something back then. But not to say that music still isn't good today, but I tend to think the bands back in the day, your Boston, Journey, Foreigner, 38 Special Sticks, it's just my particular belief that probably the best songs were written back in the day. And, it's awful hard to at this stage in life for me to be able to go back and write something that's as good or better than those songs. And that really isn't why I write. I write because I just, I love to do that. But, it's a challenge to write stuff, today in the classic rock genre that people like because they love what they used to hear back when they were younger. And I'm the same way, I love the new stuff that some of the bands come out with, but really what I want to hear is the classics that, from back in my high school days.
Is there any new band out there that's blowing your head off?
Not really.
No?
Nothing new anyway. I mean, I really tend to live in the 80s with just a handful of bands. And some I've mentioned already. But, for me, when we go out and perform, like the Music of Boston, for instance, people have often asked me, even when I'm on stage and doing a show with Boston, people will ask, what are you thinking when you're on stage in front of, 15, 20,000 people? And really, with every song, there's a memory. There's a memory of where I heard that song. So even though I'm in front of, 15, 20,000 people singing, in my mind, I'm back at high school after a football game at a party or something. And there's so many of those memories that music played such a big part of. So it's really a nice walk down memory lane every time I get to sing this stuff.
I love it, man. And I can't wait to hear you sing. And I look forward to meeting you in person on November 19th at the Stanley Theater. It's coming up. Plenty of tickets available. You can get it at thestanley.org or call the box office at 315-724-4000. Tommy, thanks for taking the time with me, man. I really appreciate it. It was good to meet you. And, again, I look forward to meeting you in person on the 19th.
Yeah, Z, come by. Definitely, and make sure you say hello if you come out to the Stanley.
I am the events manager at the Stanley, so you have to see me.
Okay, well, good.
It's my side hustle.
Hey, you got to have one. I got one of those too.
Yeah, we all need it.
But hey, thanks, Z. I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to come on your show, and I look forward to seeing you on the 19th.
Yeah, hey, brother, if you got any new music or anything, please use my platform. I'd love to promote your stuff, so hit me up. Keep in touch.
Absolutely, we'll do.
All right, Tommy. Thanks again for taking the time, man.
You too, Z. Take care, man.
You too.